The industry's in shambles right now. No more jobs, no more opportunities. It's extremely hard to even get an interview. That's what you're gonna see in most of the videos here on YouTube and in social media in general, all right? A lot of the times when you see this type of videos, you have to understand why they creating this type of content. It gets views. There's a lot of people that's out here that don't have a job, that got laid off. There's people that are learning how to code and they're still like in the process, and they're second guessing themselves like, hey, should I do this? Should I jump into this industry? I mean, am I gonna have a chance, right? And I wanted to come in and let you guys know, like, yes, there's jobs. Yes, there's opportunities. Yes, there's entry-level jobs for all of you guys. Now, what I can say is that if you get off this train of going into a new career, guess what? The following year is going to be harder. And the following year after that is going to be even more harder. The industry is doing a shift, okay? It's a mixture between AI and also, too, a mixture between the economy, okay? Until the economy gets to a point where it's booming how it used to be, you know, we're talking about 2018, 2019, right? Even 2020 was pretty freaking good in 2021. After those years, it's been like this, okay? Now we're on the way back up, but it will take some time, okay? But that doesn't mean that there's no jobs, no opportunities. It's just like companies is not hiring left and right just because they don't have access to cash like they used to, right? So just like yourself, probably watching this, right, where you're cutting down on certain things. Maybe you had Netflix, Paramount, HBO, and a bunch of other stuff, right? And then you're like, let me start canceling a couple of subscriptions. That's the same thing that companies are doing right now. So again, they don't have the cash because you don't have the cash. Believe it or not, it's an ecosystem, okay? If you have money to spend, companies got money to hire. I know it's like a crazy circle. You're like, wait, but if companies not hiring me, how am I gonna have cash? Like, it's I know it's a little confusing, but it's an ecosystem. That's how it works. Okay, people at the bottom, if they don't have money to spend, the people at the top don't have money to go in and invest into the companies and to hire more people like they used to. But the jobs are still there. Now, what you have to do is you got to specialize in specific type of jobs, the jobs that people are not really paying attention to. Okay, because I'll give you an example. Like if you have a goal right now to say, well, I want to get $100,000 job, but I have no experience and I have no background in this, then you're gonna understand like everyone is trying to apply to those jobs. But if you come in with the right mindset and you say, well, I'm looking for my first job, my first entry point into this industry, and I understand that by me joining this industry, my life is going to be better. I'm going to earn probably 2 to 3 times more than the average person. And if you understand that yes, this is something that people want, right? Like who wouldn't want to be able to earn, 2 times as much as the average person, right? I'm pretty sure a lot of people will want to do that. And then you throw in the fact that, shoot, you could work from home. A lot of people want to just be at their house. Hey, you're in boxes, open up your laptop and you good. That's your office. Okay, everyone wants that. But again, there's limits to it, all right? So not everyone's going to get it. But at the same time, you have to understand that this thing is like a marathon. This thing is like a train going to a destination. There's people that's gonna get tired and they're gonna get off the train, right? There's people that's gonna get scared and they're gonna get off the train. And those things are actually a good thing for me and you, right? Because guess what? If someone comes in and is taking space on the train, guess what? You could get off so I could have a seat because I'm here for the long term, all right? That's the facts. That's how you got to look at this, yes, you might see somebody come in and get hired in 2-3 months, but your journey might be maybe 4 or 5 months. And somebody's journey might be 8 months, 9 months. Yes, I'm being realistic. All right. But you have to understand it's like, hey, I'm going towards a goal. And if you get off the train and you stop doing what you need to do, you're going to miss the opportunities. I see this all the time. I've seen this for the past 10 years, you know, that I've been in this game. Like, literally, there's people that's around the corner from success, and because they decide to take a break, take a week off, they watch a YouTube video that basically put doubt in their head and say, well, maybe I can't do this. Maybe it's too hard. Maybe, you know, this guy that got 10 years of experience and he's struggling to find a job, maybe I can't find a job. And it's all bullshit. It's all in your head, okay? And I'll give you a great example, and we'll keep it from there, right? A guy that has 10 years of experience, he's looking for a top paying role because he got 10 years in this game. The opportunities that you're looking for, right? It's not the same opportunities that the guy that got 10 years is looking for. You understand that, right? So when you see somebody talk about that and be like, oh man, I can't find a job, or I can't, they're not going for the jobs that you're supposed to be going for. That's just the facts. Like, they're not in the same, you know, bracket as you, okay? Now, there's also a lot of people who are beginners who are thinking that they could get a position that even a freaking mid-level, senior-level developer struggling to get, and they believe that they could go in and qualify for that. This is not the market for that. This is the market to really go in, humble yourself, and literally say, guess what? Maybe I could go in, get this job, maybe as a WordPress developer, maybe as a Shopify developer, maybe as a content editor, maybe as a webmaster, right? Somebody that just goes in and changes a couple of pages on the website. Guess what? That's your entry point, all right? You got money in your pocket, you're building experience, you got somebody that can vouch for you as a reference. Guess what? That's what's going to help you go in to the next tier, the next type of jobs. But I can tell you, if you stop now and you fall back and you pay attention to all the BS that's here in social media, you're going to miss your opportunity. Okay? There's a couple of students that came through codingphase.com. By the way, if you're looking to learn how to code, you're looking to get into the game, I suggest come to codingphase.com. This is what we do. We help people just like you get into the game. But I've seen a couple of students that have came through Coding Phase, right? And I could give you, you know, examples of people. I don't want to say their names. Some of you guys might know them. But there's people that come in, they do a month, 2 months, they just learning. They're in the process of learning, right? They start applying to jobs. They go to 1 to 2 interviews. They didn't get the role. And then now they're discouraged and they're falling back. They're like, well, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe it's a little bit hard. I'm seeing all these videos. Maybe AI is taking over the jobs. And guess what? They stop. Now, here comes the other guy. The other guy comes in, continues doing his courses, continues doing his projects, continue applying to jobs, goes to a job, gets denied, goes to a job, gets ghosted, goes to another job, gets denied, goes to another job, and now he basically get the offer. What's the difference between both of them? One continue, they're both applying to the same type of roles. They're probably applying to the same type of job, right? So now what happens? Why this person got the job and this person didn't get the job? It's very simple. This person continue, right? And continue the process. This person halfway through, when he was already a block away, quit and stopped. Okay? That's happening to a lot of you guys that's watching this right now. A lot of you guys are going through that process and you're already second guessing yourself, like, did I make the right move? Did I really think that I could do this? Maybe the industry changed. Maybe AI is going to take over all the jobs, so why would they hire me if they could just have a AI do the work, right? You're probably thinking that in your head. But the truth is that there's a lot of opportunities here. I see it every day. Again, remember, guys, I get paid to help people get into the industry. I get paid to train people. I get paid to keep track of what's happening within the job market for developers and what companies are asking for. That's what I get paid for. You don't get paid for that. Okay, this is not your expertise. And I get it, and it's totally fine. But you have to trust me on this, okay? This is a process that everyone goes through. And you don't want to go in and leave it for next year. You don't want to leave it for 6 months from now. You don't want to leave it for a month from now. You don't want to take a week off the gas pedal. You have to keep pushing, because when you push and you keep on going towards your goals, you're going to get there. Okay? If you take a break and you stop, guess what? You're not going nowhere. You set yourself back. You know, I've seen situations where people, they take 2 weeks off, 3 weeks off, and those are the weeks that I start seeing a whole bunch of jobs being listed. And I'm like, man, I wish they would have continued applying to the jobs and continue doing what they needed to do, because right now there's 200, 300 jobs just listed on this week alone. You get what I'm saying? But because they took a week off, they took 2 weeks off, right? Now comes in the downturn, where now you might see 30 jobs, 40 jobs just being listed. You have to be consistent, and you have to continue pushing forward. This is not going to get easier, right? What I mean by that is that, you know, 10 years ago, just with HTML and CSS, you could get an entry-level job. Nowadays, you could go in and say, well, I need an HTML, CSS, and maybe some tools from the job. If you want to be a front-end developer, it was just jQuery. Now you got to learn React. You got to learn some type of state management package. You have to learn how to work with the back end. You got to go in and, you know, sometimes even learn about GraphQL or, you know, some type of other database, so you could set up your things on the application a certain way, right? So it's like every year they add more requirements. But the good thing about this is that if you are in the process of going through the jobs and applying to them and actually getting hired, all of these skills that's going to become required, you're going to learn it from within. You're going to learn it from within the industry, within the job, okay? And then on top of that, for people that come to Coding Phase, you'll understand the process. Everything that I know, I teach it to you guys, right? I give you a great example. I started applying to jobs myself 2 weeks ago, okay? Already got 2 offers. Some offers were like, okay, maybe I'll take some more time deciding which company I want to go to. But in 2 weeks, there's people that go in and, you know, they have as many years as me being a developer, and they can't find a job. What's the difference, right? I've made my life about helping people get into the game. So I have the knowledge of coding. I have the knowledge of the industry. I know what a business owner is looking for. I know what businesses need right now. So that gives me an edge, right? That edge is what I provide to you. And I could tell you right now that, you know what, man? Like, there's jobs out here. Okay, I can tell you there's jobs out here and there's opportunities. But you got to do this strategically. It's not about learning how to code. Anyone can learn how to code. You could go to Udemy right now, pay $10 and learn some random bullshit. But if you go in and you say, well, these are the industries that's hiring junior developers or entry-level developers, right? And these are the skills that they're requiring, then now I could go in and apply to those jobs. And now, even though this guy has 2 years learning how to code and I have 3 months, I have an edge over him because all he knows is how to click-clack. All he knows is foundation and theory and just basics of programming. But when you come in and you know exactly what the job requires from you, which is not just code. This is another thing too, that we're going into this age, especially with AI, that it's not just coding. It's about knowing the industry, knowing the type of job that you're doing, and actually knowing tools with coding. I know, right? You're like, wait, but I know how to code, but why I can't get a job? You don't know the process of the job itself because you're not going to be coding 24/7, especially now with AI. Okay? It's not about just coding. It's about putting all of these things together. I give you a great example, a great position, email developer, right? I don't know, maybe 5 years ago, just HTML, CSS, knowing how to do tables. Let's say you could get a job with that. Guess what? That's not how it is nowadays. Now you got to come in, you got to know how to do the HTML, CSS, the tables, how to make them responsive, how to test the emails, right? All of these things, testing is not done with code. It's done with platforms, Litmus, Email Acid, right? Testiat, right? You have different platforms. You have MailChimp, you have Klaviyo, you have ConvertKit, you have ActiveCampaign, right? Constant Contact, Drip, Breeze. There's a bunch of different platforms, but by you going in and looking at the jobs, looking at the requirements, looking at what they're asking for, and learning the skills that are outside of just coding, right? Now that gives you an edge, because this guy that showed up, that's all he knows. That's the problem when you go to most of these platforms, or you learn how to code in just a Udemy course. They're teaching you one skill. Jobs are no longer looking for just one skill. They're looking for a complete package. They're looking for the complete package. This is why we focus on career paths and specific jobs. It's not about just learning how to code. I'll teach you how to code, and I'll teach you exactly what you need for that job, and the tools and everything that makes you into an attractive candidate, right? But I want you guys to understand that yes, the opportunities is here. You just can't get off the train. You got to go in and stay working towards your goals. You do that, I guarantee you, you're going to find a job in a new career, in something that you're going to love, you're going to enjoy, in something that you could take care of your family. That's the number one thing that you got to really focus about. How can I take care of myself, take care of my family, put money in my pocket, put that experience on my back so I can make even more money the following year? All right? So, again, it's a process. But I wanted to come in and leave you guys with a positive message, just because I know there's so many people that's out here that already getting off the train, right? Or, you know, thinking about it. And it's like, bro, homegirl, I'm telling you, you're a block away, okay? You're a block away from your destination. And guess what? The people that's still on the train are the people that's going to get that job that was supposed to go for you. You're already here for 3 months. You're already here for 4 months, 5 months, whatever journey you're on. Now you got to go in and finish it, complete it. Don't get off the train. Because if you get off the train, you're just making it easier for the guy who has less time than you, who could actually now get that position that you was waiting for. All right, guys. Listen, man. By the way, guys, check out the links in the description. Codingphase.com. 20% off. You know, come to the platform. Check it out. Try it out. Okay. You like it, keep it. You don't like it, full refund. But I could tell you right now that, you know, there's no other platform like Coding Phase. And I could tell you that what we're focusing on is results. It's not learning how to code. We're focusing on results. All right. So at the end of the day, there's no better platform than codingphase.com. Also, too, letting you guys know, new platform dropping probably this week. I'm almost done with everything, setting everything up. Basically, I mean, imagine this. You're going to have a platform that has video courses, interactive lessons. On top of that, you have job search. So you're going to be able to go in and see all of the latest jobs that's out there, all the best jobs. You're going to have verified jobs where we go in and we verify that these jobs are not ghost jobs, that they're actually answering back to people, right? We take our time to verify that for you. So you could go in and say, well, I could go and apply to this job, and I'm expecting to get a result out of this, okay? On top of that, you have project management within the platform. You also have job tracking, portfolio, basically a portfolio generator. You have a resume generator. You have a cover letter generator, right? With all of the best practices to make sure that you succeed. And unlimited, you know, resumes, unlimited cover letters. So you guys can go in and generate that, right? Because guess what? That's where you're going to find the edge. You got to go in and create the resume and the cover letter to actually match the specific job. Now, if you tell me what other platform is providing all of that for you, I don't see anywhere else that they do that. Okay, they just go in and give you a course and say, hey, good luck. We gave you a $20 course. Good luck with it, right? That's not going to get you results. That's going to teach you a simple skill. But guess what? Like I said, we're in the industry right now where you got to come in as a full package. All right. And yeah, we're adding a lot of cool stuff with AI for you guys so you don't stay behind. Not only we're teaching you how to code, but how to do it with AI. So you could go in and say, hey, man, this thing that takes, a day to do, I could do it in 20 minutes. This thing that usually take a month, guess what? I could knock it out in a good 2-3 hours. It's a process, right? But again, this is why you want to come in and check out Coding Phase. There's a lot of cool stuff coming into the platform. And again, I'm here to help you guys out and provide you all of the tools and all of the stuff that is going to help you land a position and get into this industry. But you got to do the other part, right? Remember, codingphase.com is like a gym membership. You come to Coding Phase, right? It's a gym. We have the machines. We have the pool. We have the track. We have everything for you. But if you don't show up to the gym, guess what? You're still going to be fat, okay? You want to get results? Show up. You want to get results? Do the work. You want to get results? Ask questions, okay? And yeah, we'll help you out. All right, guys. Anyways, man, it's your boy Joe back at it again, codingphase.com. Check out the links in the description. And like I said, man, please don't get off the train. Don't be that person that was a block away. I'll see you guys later. Peace.